Hey folks, Lachlan here, a South African living with quadriplegic cerebral palsy. In today's video, I want to talk about why I believe that within my lifetime, South Africa will probably see some form of large-scale civil war. And before anyone gets excited, no, I'm not talking about South Africa engaging in conflict with America, and I'm not even talking about a war of the black government against white people, although that could happen too. No, what I'm talking about today is the broader possibility of intertribal warfare between various political parties in this country. What many people outside of South Africa don't understand is that there is a complex layer of ethnic and tribal loyalties which underpin the political landscape of this country. And at this point in 2025, the African National Congress, which has been our ruling party since the fall of apartheid in 1994, is at its most corrupt and at its weakest. And the ANC, largely speaking, has lost the mandate of the people. The myth of the Rainbow Nation of South Africa is now well and truly dead, and the ANC has squandered almost every bit of goodwill it ever earned, both locally and internationally. This makes living in South Africa at this moment a very tumultuous and difficult thing to do. Because although I don't believe that civil war is imminent, as in I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow, we have already seen what happens when a prominent political figure is taken in for questioning or made to face the consequences of their own actions. I'm speaking, of course, of the large scale riots that took place several years ago here in my home province of KwaZulu Natal following the arrest of former President Jacob Zuma, who currently leads his own Mkhonto weSizwe party, after he was accused of major government corruption during his tenure as president. The riots that ensued after his arrest were massive. They did billions of rand in damage to our economy and led to the deaths of hundreds of people. So that is the kind of thing that happens when African leaders risk facing the consequences of what they do to the people. And now all of the other parties that oppose the ANC are far more radical and far more upfront about what they want to do with this country and how they want to lead it going forward. Parties like the Mkhonto weSizwe Party and the Economic Freedom Fighters, which is led by firebrand communist Julius Malema, are very clear. They want essentially to remove any trace of white European heritage from this land. They want to take everything that exists, they want to nationalize it, and they want central control of this country. Now, where the risk of civil war comes in is that all of these people want to lead themselves. They do not want to share power, they do not like each other, and as I said earlier, all of them have differing ethnic and tribal loyalties, which shape the choices they make. Essentially, this means that South Africa is a deeply unstable place. Our economy is already collapsing thanks to the ANC's dismal leadership, and things look as though they will only continue to get worse because the ANC is unlikely to relinquish its death grip on the ruling position of this country. And so, essentially, something has got to give. We cannot continue to live like this with the standard of living falling, poverty rising, unemployment, violent crime, high tax rates, poor service delivery. This can't go on. It's simply not sustainable. And eventually, something's going to happen. I can't predict what, but there will be an inciting incident, whether it's now, a few months from now, or more likely a few years from now, because I don't think the population is sufficiently angry enough for civil war. But I am willing to predict that at some point in the not too distant future, something will happen which will be the spark that sets this country on fire. Because the reality is that living in South Africa today is like living in a pressure cooker, and the pressure can only rise so high before something explodes. As always, I hope that you find some value in this content. Look after yourselves, take care of each other, and for now, farewell.